Today would have been my son Dale's 32nd birthday, and tomorrow is my mum's funeral, and the day after is my sister's birthday. When you lose a baby, I've lost two babies, Dale and Lucas. It is very, very hard. You carry that child for 9 months, you go through all the sickness, all the feelings, and you end up with nothing to hold at the end of it. And you watch everybody else holding their child, feeding their child. It's a very lonely place to be, I can tell you. Watching your child struggle to live in the SCBU, the Special Care Baby Unit. Watching that line go across the screen when he's not breathing or she's not breathing. It creates feelings in you that of helplessness, because you just can't help your child, and it's your role as a parent to help and protect your child. There are all sorts of issues of guilt, of responsibility that you go through losing a baby. You don't do that when you lose a parent. Somebody said to me, why aren't you in pieces losing your mum? My mum and I had a very precious moment a few months ago where we both kind of like held hands and shared that moment. There are moments that make everything okay. When a parent is very ill for a long time, you kind of almost do your grieving during that illness, don't you? I was just so glad to see my mum not to suffer when she finally passed away. I was so glad to see her out of pain and out of struggling to breathe, and her legs were very, very ulcerated due to the diabetes that she suffered, and I was just so glad, truthfully, when it all stopped for her. And for my father, they absolutely adored each other, but for my father and my older sister, it was a real struggle daily with somebody that sick and who needed that amount of care. And I just felt that my mum went to be with my children and they would keep her safe and she would be in a better place. And I suppose that's made a huge difference to the grief and the way I'm dealing with it. Grief is a very personal thing. I don't think I've really totally grieved for my mum yet, but I have grieved for my children. And today, being Dale's birthday, you never ever forget your children. You never stop thinking about them. Your heart is never whole again. You're never totally at peace. There is no grief in the world worse than your child going before you. And those of you who've gone through that experience know exactly what I mean. We just gather together on days like this. I personally write a card to remember my child's day of birth, light a candle, put a message on the internet website of my son on Remembered Forever, Gone Too Soon, places like that. Memorial websites are really helpful to remember them and light candles. And I am just so glad I had these children, even though they're not with me. I just feel very privileged as their mum. And I just wish my angel baby a really happy 32nd birthday, wherever he is living and surviving and existing now. And good energy never dies, and these are children who will remain perfect because they never had a chance to be spoiled. Life didn't spoil them or damage them. And never forgotten, Dale, Lucas, Blake, Kyle. Always loved Sasha, Summerbun, surviving children and grandchild, Kyle. And I just want to say to you, if you've lost children, always think of the blessings. Try and think how blessed you were just to have known them even for a short period of time. And for those of you like me who are going through their birth dates, celebrate them. They lived, they were souls, they existed, you loved them. Don't pretend they didn't. And for my, self, I will remember my child, I will remember my mum, I will remember my children, always with love.